For years now, we've been talking at our smart homes, not really with them, right? Well, that might be about to change. Today, we're diving into Google's huge AI upgrade that promises to do just that. Gemini for Home. It looks like your house is about to get a serious IQ boost.
Google actually summed up the problem perfectly with this quote about their old assistants. They said it was a transactional tool, not a collaborative partner. And come on, we've all been there, haven't we? You had to say the exact right command in the exact right way. It was rigid, it was functional, it was a transaction, not a real conversation. So let's get into the first big idea here. We're talking about this massive shift from a simple tool you just boss around to a collaborative partner that actually gets you.
Okay, so you really need to think about this as more than just another software update. It's like a brand new brain for your home. Google is calling it a foundational intelligence. The whole point here isn't just to make the assistant a little bit better, it's to completely change how you interact with all the tech in your house.
Okay, so what does this actually look like day to day? Well, this is where we get to the really good stuff. The idea that you can finally stop barking out those super specific commands and just, talk to your home. I mean, just look at this comparison. The before state, we've all lived that life, right? Trying to remember the exact name of that one specific lamp. Ugh. But now, in the after, you can just be, say, upstairs and mention you're about to cook. Gemini just gets it. It understands the context, that you mean the kitchen, and you need the lights by the stove, and it just handles it. That is a huge leap forward.
And it's not just about one-off commands either. This thing can actually hold a conversation. Take this dishwasher example. You ask a question, you get an answer, and this is the key part, you can ask a follow-up without having to say dishwasher all over again. It remembers what you were talking about, so the conversation can actually, flow, like a real conversation. And this new level of understanding just makes everything simpler. You can describe a movie scene to find a song, or, and this is a big one for me, you can finally make those complex requests with exceptions. Turn off all the lights except the office. People have been wanting that for years. Or how about this? Just tell it to add ingredients for pad thai to your shopping list, and it actually figures out what you need. It's not just reactive anymore, it's proactive. And if you want to go even deeper, there's this feature called Gemini Live. You just say, hey Google, let's chat, and then the hot word goes away. You can just talk, you can pause, you can interrupt, you can change the subject, just like you would with a person. It's really designed for those creative brainstorms, like trying to plan a party or figuring out what on earth to make for dinner with the random stuff you have in your fridge. All right, but this AI upgrade isn't just for your speakers. Let's switch gears and talk about how it's making the eyes and ears of your home, your smart cameras and doorbells, finally see what's really going on. So, the core tech behind this is something called semantic understanding. Now, I know that sounds super technical, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It's the difference between a camera just detecting an object, like a person or a package, and a camera actually understanding the event, that a delivery driver is dropping off that package. It's all about interpreting the story of what's happening. And what that means for you is no more vague alerts that make you the detective, right? Instead of just getting a notification that says, person detected, you get the whole story. Gemini tells you a USPS delivery driver is placing a package on the porch and walking away. It gives you the context you actually care about. So this new Camera Smarts breaks down into three main features. First, you get those super rich AI descriptions in your alerts that we just talked about. Second, there's a home brief that automatically sums up hours of footage into a quick daily recap. And third, and this is a big one, you can search your video history just by asking a question. Oh yeah, that last one is a total game changer. Seriously, no more endless scrolling through a timeline trying to find that one specific moment. You can just ask a simple, natural question like, what time did the kids get home? Or did I leave the garage door open? And boom, Gemini finds the right clips for you. So much time saved. Okay, let's move from the devices to the app itself because the Google Home app is getting its own major upgrade. We're talking about a new feature called Ask Home, and it's basically a natural language command center for your entire house. So right inside the app, Ask Home lets you find any setting or device super fast. You can control a bunch of different devices with just one sentence or ask questions like, hey, are my doors locked? But honestly, where it gets really powerful is with automations. And this is what makes home automation finally feel accessible to everyone.
Before, creating routines was, well, it was kind of buried in menus, a little nerdy, right? Now you don't have to program anything. You just describe what you want to happen in plain English, just like this, and Gemini builds the automation for you. It's that simple.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But the big question is, how do you actually get it? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of when it's available and what it's going to cost. And right off the bat, here's some really fantastic news if you already have Google devices. Google says they're bringing Gemini for Home to every single speaker, display, camera, and doorbell they've made in the last decade. That's right, your current gear is about to get a whole lot smarter.
So, if you're eager to try this out, you can sign up for the Early Access program. It's pretty straightforward. Just make sure your Google Home app is updated to the latest version, then tap on your little profile icon, go into your home settings, and you should see an option right there to enroll in Early Access.
All right, let's talk about the money. What's free and what's going to require a subscription? It's pretty clear. The core conversational assistant, that smarter, more natural voice assistant, that's a free upgrade for your devices. But all the really advanced AI stuff, we're talking Gemini Live, those super smart camera notifications, the video search, and creating automations just by describing them, all of that will require a new subscription called Google Home Premium. And that new Google Home Premium subscription, the one that unlocks all those top-tier features we just mentioned, it's set to start at $10 a month. That puts it right in line with other smart home and AI subscriptions out there. And all of this really brings us to the big fundamental question, doesn't it? For years, the whole promise of the smart home has often felt, well, more complicated than smart. So will a truly conversational AI like Gemini finally be the thing that delivers on that promise? Is this the moment the smart home stops being a hobby and actually becomes truly smart?